Good morning. And welcome to Little River United Church of Christ, where no matter who you are or where you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. This is a very special Sunday for us. We are worshiping today in the sanctuary, and those who are here with us in the sanctuary, we invite you to sign the red fellowship pad located in front of you near the hymnals. After you have signed, please pass it to your neighbor sitting near you, and we appreciate your help with signing in and letting us know that you're here with us at Little River today. Members are called to a congregational meeting today following our worship service. Business of the meeting will include reflection on the interim process and a presentation by the Senior Pastor Search Committee, a review of the 2022 budget and a trustees update, as well as a vote to approve the bylaw changes related to finance. We're encouraging everyone to remain with us in the sanctuary, and for those of you who are online with us, we hope that you will also attend this important meeting. There will be a very brief break after worship before the meeting begins to set up for that meeting, so we ask you to please be patient with us and stay with us. Well, I have good news for you. You're going to get a break. The senior pastor, the interim senior pastor, is taking a vacation, a timeout, for 4 weeks, and we have a wonderful lineup of persons who will serve as worship leaders and preachers during the 4 weeks the pastor is away. And I am so thankful to the congregation for this opportunity after 18 months to take a time out. Let us now come together for a time of worship.
Would you please join me responsively in the call to worship? Wisdom calls and understanding speaks. Majestic God, we recognize your voice. Creation declares your glory and humanity marvels at your care. Merciful God, we rejoice at your works. Peace, endurance, character, and hope are gifts. Mysterious God, we receive your love in thanksgiving. Please be seated. Let us pray. God, our potter, God who becomes clay, God who shapes us in the fire, we are made new in your presence. We come seeking your wisdom, crying out our concerns, needing your peace. Use this time to form us as community, connected through your breath, life, and hope that propels us as your body in the world. Amen.
We invite you now to join us in passing the peace. For those of you who are with us online, we invite you to use the chat box and share your peace with us. Peace of Christ be with you. That was beautiful. I like bells. I also like children, and so I'd like to invite our children to come and join me on the steps this morning. This is a very special Sunday, and we want to recognize some very special people in our congregation this morning. Well, good morning. Come join me. Today, we're recognizing the teachers who serve here at Little River Church in our Christian education program, and that's pretty cool. And we're doing it this time of year because summer is near. Are you still in school? No, you're out of school?
You're out of school? Yep. I have 3 days.
You have 3 days to go?
Yeah.
Are you skipping school?
No, Friday was our last day.
Friday was your last day?
Yeah, we've had half days for like 2 weeks now.
Oh, wow. What do you think about that?
That's sad.
I think it's great.
I love school. When I graduated high school, it took me 19 years from high school to graduate from college. True story. I got to college and I didn't want to quit. I really did. I just kept going to school, and 19 years later, I went to grad school. And I remember a friend of mine who was a Lutheran pastor said, "You know why they call it grad school? Because you graduate and then you go." So I had to go to my counselor and find out what would it take to graduate. And she looked at my transcript. She said, "Whoa, I'm a slow learner." But I just really liked school that much. I just stayed with it. Once I got there, I didn't want to leave. Sort of a fantasy land. True story. Well, we have teachers. Amy, thank you so much for coming up. And Carolyn, thank you. I'm going to pass this microphone to you. This is Amy Miracu and Carolyn Yoakum. Well, no, this is Carolyn Johnson who's with us up here this morning. Wonderful. I had some other name here. But we have some special gifts for some special people who are with us, and they are our teachers. So, Amy, Carolyn, you have the microphone. So.
Yes. You can see by the insert in the bulletin how many people have been teachers in some way during this year, and many of them over many years too. Okay, what do I do?
Just put it towards your mouth.
Okay, here it is.
There it is.
So what we will do is call out your names. If you would stand, and we'll get one of the kids here to bring your little gift to you. We thank you for all that you have done. I'll try to remember to put it here. So Pam Benninger. Those who aren't here, they can get them at some other time. Okay. Dave Curtis. Okay. Did you? Yeah. Okay.
We need a runner.
Janet Curtis. Carrie Douglas. Okay. Susan Kennedy. Ann Lingo. Okay. And Barbara Lowry. Yeah, okay. Sally Ann Harper. So, give it to her. John Mingus.
We'll send that home with Carolyn.
Mm-hmm. Emily Makos. Amy Miracu. Okay, Gail Perry. Okay, she's way in the back. Go. Kathy Richardson. Nicole Renzo.
I can go. Yeah.
Okay. Heather Shackley. Ashton Stravik. Iris Sens, who's in the nursery. Natalie Stapert. Sarah and Carter Wilbur. Here. Jean Wheelock. No. Jane Wallace. Joanne Zellers. Okay. And Pastor Art. He is definitely a teacher. And that is all?
That's all.
Okay, so we thank you, all of you who are teaching, and all of you who are going to classes and being part of the church. Thank you.
And then we have a special presentation for two special people.
So for our teachers, we have some presents and such that were organized by Miss Mirku and Audrey apparently.
So Carolyn Yoakum and Rich Dodenhoff dedicated hours and hours this spring to 7 of our youth for the OWL class, both taking an online certification course to get facilitator training for that, and then spending at least 5 weekends, their Friday nights and their Sundays, with these 7 youth. And we really appreciate it beyond what you can imagine. So special gifts for you. They're delicate. There is a bottle of wine in there for each of you. So if Rich is looking a little tipsy as the clerk this afternoon's meeting, you'll know what happened. So just special thanks from all the parents of the youth that participated in that class. So thank you. If you guys would like to find them and pass those along. Yep, yeah. So, and we're asking Carolyn to be the transport person for John and Emily's thank you presents as well. Thank you.
And I'm guessing a lot of the names you call are probably with us virtually online, so we want to recognize.
Thank you. Welcome table.
A great round of applause to our teachers and all who are working with us here. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming on the steps this morning. Thank you. Let us pray. O God, shine your light on us and open our eyes. Grant us wisdom and courage to walk humbly before you. Lead and guide our steps and move us into the lives of others. Have mercy on us for our mistakes and missteps. Come now, O God, and show us your way. Help us to know again how to love one another. Amen.
Our Old Testament reading this morning is from the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verses 1 through 4 and 22 through 31. The gifts of wisdom. Does not wisdom call and understanding raise her voice? On the heights, beside the way, at the crossroads, she takes her stand. Beside the gates in front of the town, at the entrance of the portals, she cries out, "To you, O people, I call, and my cry is to all who live." And wisdom's part in creation. The Lord created me at the beginning of his work, the first of his acts of long ago. Ages ago I was set up, at the first before the beginning of the earth. When there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no springs abounding with water, before the mountains had been shaped, before the hills I was brought forth. When he had not yet made the earth and fields, or the world's first bits of soil. When he established the heavens, I was there. When he drew a circle on the face of the deep. When he made firm the skies above. When he established the fountains of the deep. when he assigned to the sea its limit, so that the waters might not transgress his command, when he marked out the foundations of the earth. Then I was beside him, like a master worker, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing before him always, rejoicing in his inhabited world, and delighting in the human race. And our New Testament lesson this morning is from the book of John, chapter 16, verses 12 through 15. I still have many things to say to you, but you cannot bear them now. When the Spirit of truth comes, he will guide you into all truth, for he will not speak on his own, but will speak whatever he hears, and he will declare to you the things that are to come. He will glorify me, because he will take what is mine and declare it to you. All that the Father has is mine. For this reason, I said that he will take what is mine and declare it to you. Thus ends the reading of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
Will you pray with me? Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O God, my strength and my Redeemer. Amen. Thank you, Sally Ann, for reading from the Book of Wisdom this morning.
There's a huge difference between wisdom and smart. To be wise is to share wholly of oneself, beyond oneself. The emphatic difference: smart people make bombs. Wise people know not to. I think of Marco Polo and his trip to China, where he brought back food that we enjoy. I'm a spaghetti kind of guy. I like noodles. That's from China. He also brought back fireworks from China. But with time, those fireworks turned into weapons, explosives, bombs. The wisdom of the Chinese did not transfer with Marco Polo as emphatically as one would like. And today we live in a world that is littered with bombs all over the place. And yet, the wise person makes a clear decision beyond the moment, the impact that our decisions make on the whole of creation, on the whole of God's imagination. We come as human beings. We come in the image of God, endowed with the wisdom that God has given to us. And yet too often, we drop being wise and we pick up being smart. It's not so helpful. Today, wisdom calls out to us to think again about our purpose, about the difference we make by the decisions we make, to love one another, to care for the earth. In the early reading that Sally Ann just read to us, taking us all the way back to God's imagination before human life was even formed, wisdom was present. That's what the prophet told us this morning in Proverbs. God had a vision. And in that vision, the realization of wisdom was called out. Wisdom to give us leadership and direction, to help us to make great decisions, not just smart decisions, long-lasting decisions. I think back to College University of London's report about 2 or 3 years ago, where it did an analysis. And based on this study by the College University of London, between 1400 and 1700, 56 million indigenous people on these lands were decimated. 56 million. And because of their loss, this is College University of London's analysis, because of the decimation of 56 million indigenous people on these lands, we have climate change today. 1400 to 1700, in the 21st century, we are feeling the impact of their loss with climate change today. Why is that? because the indigenous people understood the relationship between earth, ecology, and humanity. The caring of the earth, that's where we get our food. The caring of the air, that's where we breathe. The caring of the ocean, that's where we move and live. And because of the callousness of those who came and wiped them out and brought a different set of rules and understanding and relationship, we have climate change today. Wisdom calls out to us. It's impossible to reverse the decimation of 56 million people. It's impossible to bring back to life those who were killed and murdered and destroyed. But we do have the power of changing our ways so that those who come after us will do better, will not continue a pattern of life destruction and ecological change. That's where we come in. Wisdom calls out to us to use the better part of our intelligence for the whole of creating, for the whole of creation. How we work with and deal with one another. How we understand that we're all made in the image of God. Unless we use the wise part of our brain rather than the smart part of our brain, we will find the impact will go forward generations from now. I invite us this day to remember those who have come before us and to imagine the possibility of those who will come after us. Our failure to be forward in our thinking means that we reduce the possibility of life on this planet as we know it. I believe God's imagination is more generous than that. I believe God's forgiving present gives us a second and third and fourth chance. I believe God calls us where we are to do better than we've ever done. I believe wisdom calls us today. It's calling out. It's saying, pay attention to the impact of what we say and what we do. Pay attention to the relationship that we're interwoven together with the whole of God's creation. Wisdom calls out to us today, not only to pay attention as observers, but to be participants in God's continuing creation. I invite us this day, even as we think about all that is taking place, all that is happening now, what alternative presence do we present? The news is full and littered with brokenness and violence. The news gives us information about inappropriate behaviors that result in destruction of life and contamination of the environment. Wisdom calls for something more. To pay attention, of course, but not to be sideliners, bystanders, but to be participants in God's continuing creation. I invite us to use our imagination, to come together and form a conspiracy of hope and love and care, to come as a congregation and raise the question, what can we do now that will make a difference and bring pleasure to God's eyes and ears? I invite us to think again about the voiceless cries of 56 million indigenous people on these lands, decimated. And we live with the result of their absence, with the contamination of the earth, the violation of God's creation, and the reality that it is not sustainable to live with brokenness and destruction. For this is the gospel. Praise be to God.
Good morning. At the Potomac Association spring meeting just a few months ago, Little River was honored as being a 5 for 5 congregation. That means that in 2021, our church participated in all 5 of the major offerings of the United Church of Christ. OCWM, our church's wider mission, Neighbors in Need, One Great Hour Sharing, the Christmas Fund, and Strengthen the Church. Strengthen the Church is traditionally received around the celebration of Pentecost, which we observed last Sunday. Strengthen the Church reflects the shared commitment of people across the denomination to build up our denomination, in a word, to strengthen the church. To build on our denomination, where conferences and the national setting share equally in the gifts given by members and friends through the local congregation. The funds that are raised through Strengthen the Church support leadership development, the development of new churches, youth ministry, and innovation in existing congregations such as Little River. So as we observe Strengthen the Church over the next few Sundays, I invite us to give generously to strengthen the church, because by our generosity, we build up the body of Christ. And you can give in several ways. In the bulletins this Sunday, there are offering envelopes. You can write out a check, and there'll be an usher waiting with an offering plate to receive your gifts at the end of worship. Or you can go to the church's website, click on the Donate Online button, and look for special offerings, and there you will find an opportunity to give to strengthen the church. So let us together build up the body of Christ by generously supporting this offering. Thank you.
Thank you, Drew. You can give your offering for Strengthen the Church, as well as our normal offering, to Little River by mailing a check to the church, or by visiting the Donate Online page on our website, or as Drew mentioned, there will be an usher with a plate as you leave today. And we thank you for your generosity. Let us pray. Generous, abundant, and precious God, bless our offerings of presence, ability, and resources as we participate as your co-creators. Amen.
This morning, we are so pleased to recognize those among us who have children, grandchildren, who are graduates this school year. And we want to say thank you to our parents and grandparents for raising up the child in the way the child should go. We want to recognize Kaylee Marie Caudill, who is the granddaughter of Bonnie Jones. And Bonnie, if you're here, if your granddaughter is here, we'd love to see her. She's graduating from Herndon High School. Kaylee will be attending the University of Cincinnati to study industrial design. We're also recognizing Catherine Claire Summers. She's the daughter of Mary and Bruce Summers. Bruce, stand up. Let us just say thank you. She's graduating from the George Washington University Master of Arts in International Development Studies. Michael Richardson is the son of Kathy and Scott Richardson, graduating from Old Dominion University. Bevan Serby, granddaughter of Becky Serby, graduated from Wilson High School. Bevan will attend the University of Pittsburgh. Elizabeth Pannert, daughter of Will and Jenny Pannert, graduated from Boston College with a master's degree in social work. Dylan Johan Mackey, grandson of Janet Mackey. I see Janet, you're here. Stand, be proud. Proud grandmother of Dylan, who's graduating from James Madison University. And Dennis Lopez Jimenez, who's a dear friend of Little River United Church of Christ. Dennis is graduating from George Mason University in nursing with a double major in biology and computational data sciences. In August, Dennis will begin working at Innova Alexandria Hospital in cardiology neurosciences in the ICU. Dennis was a student speaker at George Mason University College of Health and Human Services graduation celebration. So congratulations, parents, grandparents, and all of our graduates. Emily, oh my God, I did that. Emily Johnson, Carolyn, and Tom, they are grandparents to Emily, graduating from Cave Spring High School in Roanoke, and Emily will be attending the University of Massachusetts, Boston. I think we saved the best for last. But congratulations to all of our parents, grandparents, and our students.
Let us pray. Holy and loving God, we are thankful to you for your mercy. We're thankful to you for your faithfulness. We thank you, O God, for making us in your image, believing in us perhaps even more than we believe in you. We pray, O God, that this day you will touch our hearts, our lives, open our eyes, O God, so that we will see the beauty of your creating, the loveliness of your people, the healing of your land. We thank you for the names that have been called out this day, for you have received our prayers, and we thank you for your faithfulness and for your healing touch. We come into this space, O God, bringing the whole of our lives. You invite us to come and to place ourselves in your hands. Give us courage and give us faith to be obedient to you, to honor you, to love you, to believe that you truly love us. We pray this day for leaders of nations, including this nation. We pray that you will guide their decision, that you will bring an end to violence and war, that you will inspire us, O God, to walk in your way, loving one another, caring for your creating. We ask you to be with those who are traveling, those who are separated from family and community, those, O God, who cry out to you in various stages in their lives. We pray that you will receive their voices, their cries, that you will be responsive to their needs. And now, O God, we pray the prayer as Jesus taught his disciples by saying, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
invite you to remain in the sanctuary following our worship this morning, and those of you who are with us online to remain with us for about 5-10 minutes before we begin our congregational meeting. May the God of peace assure you. May the God of life invigorate you. May the God of wind direct you. Go in peace and hope to transform your community and the world to the glory of God. Go unafraid, unashamed, and unapologetic. Go and be audacious, bodacious, and courageous. Amen.